Hey guys, Parfax here. Today, I want to bring you a video on my thoughts on Elyon and would it be worth buying right now if we had the price for it. Okay, let's get started. So first, when it comes to would you buy Elyon, I'm going to kind of go over my thoughts on the game. We're going to go over kind of what I think of classes, gameplay, customization, and that kind of thing. So first off, I want to start by saying that I played the Elementalist. I'm on the Gunner right now. I played also the Mystic and the Warlord. So I didn't play every class, but I played most of them. And they all have different play styles and kind of different aesthetics. And they basically kind of all have different play styles they can do as well. Like the Gunner has a longer range kind of like sniper play style that you can do, or like you don't do as much damage, but you can stay at range, or it has this really cool setup to where you can do like these AoE short, like right around you type of like melee play style that does a ton of damage, but the downside of you actually have to get up in people's faces. So each kind of class has its own set of play styles it can do and so much customization. We'll start off with the thing that I love about the game the most. And I would say it's not even the combat system, which is great. I would say it's not even the fact that each class is kind of different. What I absolutely love, and I hope more games kind of go to this type of system, is this skill system. The skill system in this game is so much fun to play around with. Each skill you have can have up to 4 augmentations. Now you only have a certain amount of skill attribute points that you can put into each one, and you get more as you can put like stuff. You can put like stuff in your gear, and you can get them in different ways by like leveling up and runes and stuff like that. But this customization is so much fun. We'll just look at like your left click. This is your basic left click. You have it basically, if you look down to the bottom right, he just basically shoots his pistols at each other. This one activates an explosive or explosion every time the skill hits the target 10 times to deal 100 power, which is basically like their damage as physical damage, and then changes the bullets as electric ammo, so on and so forth. You can completely change your skills by this system, which I think is one of the best skill systems that I've seen, and it's the most fun I've ever had playing around with the system. There's going to be meta builds, there's going to be skills that are super overpowered that you're going to have to use, right? It's any game we've ever played. If you've ever played a game and you try to be competitive, there's just going to be a set of skills that are going to be completely overpowered and people are going to play them the most. Now, what skill systems like this does, and this is one thing I like about ESO and kind of the way they have their gear set up, is a lot of times people start looking at, they'll go, oh, everybody uses this, so if everybody uses this, I'm going to use it. And then people stop looking at skills, and it kind of makes this thing where you can go back and check out old stuff, and it's a lot better than people thought. Maybe it's even better than what people are doing. You can find other combos with it. So that is by far my favorite thing about Elyon, is the skill system. It is so customizable. Now you'll find there's like things you should take. As my Elementalist, my favorite thing was there was like this big fist you shove on the ground as a frost, and I love to put it as a fire, and every time I was like, I'll just fist them. Like, it was so much fun. I just had like fun playing around with the skills. You find like cool combos that you can do, and if you morph this, you know, do this attribute to this, and you just have so much kind of wiggle room and kind of cool builds you can do just off this skill system alone, let alone deciding what skills you're going to put on. Look at all these skills. There's so many skills, you only have this many bars, this slot, and you can technically get one more, but it's just so much fun. That's by far my favorite part about the game. So the combat system is, it can be a little bit of animation lock. So we'll do my right click here. I'm holding left click. Okay, so we're gonna hold left click. As you can see, I am animation locked. Now, the one thing this game does is, if you don't want to, and they do this deliberately, right? So you have animation lock. I can go to this skill right here, and I can un-animation lock it. So I can actually run around with it, but it's going to cost 20 attribute points. So there's a give and take in this game where you can have it animation locked, or you can't, or you can take it away, but it's going to cost you something. So there's upside and downside, which I really like, and it's another reason why I like the skill system. I've got a chance to do PvE and PvP. I've, got my characters leveled up to, not by any means, I'm not even close to the highest level because I've tried out all the classes, And of course, there was like this big thing where you couldn't get on the first day. And I've been obviously doing real life stuff too. So I haven't had a chance to really dig into the end game, which I've seen a ton of videos on, and I've talked to some people. And the end game is basically like, you know, almost BDO-ish, where you're grinding mobs, but you do your daily dungeons and your daily quests and stuff like that. And your PvP. There's a ton of PvP at end game, which is great. So the way you level up in this game is basically by doing quests, killing mobs. You can see on the right hand side of my screen here, I kind of have a lot of the quests here. These green ones are super important. They give you a lot of, they'll either give you gold or upgrade material. Yeah, so you can see here, like, when this is a purple one, but it kind of gives you this attribute point runes, or this rune stone here that's really good. Then you get like, these are like your gems that you slot in your gear. They're just the green ones you do. Then you do your main story quests. You do like there's like little gold ones or like copper ones that are hanging around in places, like this one right here. You know, you do those. A lot of them are like little puzzles and kind of weird stuff timed, a lot of them. But it's fun. Now, it does get a little boring. You just go around killing mobs is basically, and talking to people. That's basically all you do. But they do throw in these like little loot goblin rooms. I just did one on this character where I went in and you had to sneak around and do chests. There's like one where there's like bubbles, and there's all kinds of these like little mini game type place or like quests you can do for rewards. And if you fail it, then you don't get the reward. But if you get it correctly, you get like one of these like little mini loot boxes. Let's see what I get out of this one. This was on this character. I got this 10 rune powder, which is literally upgrading my gems. Like these rune stones, I can upgrade rune stones with that 10 powder. So it's really cool. I really enjoy it. The leveling does get a little tedious, but I personally find a lot of leveling tedious in general, whether it's grinding, whether it's, you know, questing. I actually specifically hate questing more than I do grinding, but this is questing to grind basically. But at least in this game, when you quest, you're getting actually important rewards and not just doing random stupid quests for gold that is very insignificant, which is a lot of games, and I really don't like it. So that's kind of the leveling system. It can be tedious, you know, I'm not gonna lie, but I also find a lot of leveling in games tedious, so kind of take that what you will. I enjoyed all the classes I played. The class I actually enjoyed the most was Mystic, which is surprising. I'm not a support class person. I'm typically a frontline bruiser or kind of high, you know, glass cannon-y type skill or playstyle. Now I do like this class here. I actually didn't like it at first, but I've really starting to grow to like this this gunslinger. He's actually a lot of fun to play, and it's partly because I got some more skills that do a lot more damage. I got this like more melee playstyle to him, where you can just go in and just absolutely wreck mobs, but you know, the downside is your melee. But if you want to stay at ranged, you just don't do as much damage. So it's kind of this give and take in the game. Now, in Korea, they mainly, you know, have a problem with balancing and some bugs. Now, I haven't found one bug other than the bug of the client the first day. I haven't found one bug in the game yet. So on that front, it's been amazing for me. I don't think I've crashed once. I don't think any of that. So I'm sure there are bugs at endgame, but just take that as what it will. So I've kind of rambled on here. We're like 9 minutes deep, 8 minutes deep into this video already. And we're just gonna kind of go over really quickly my complete thoughts on the game. So first off, again, my favorite system is the skill system. I love this system. I wish more things had this. ESO has something similar to this because of its, you get a skill, you level it up, and then you can morph it. But a lot of times the morphs aren't actually like, there's not really a choice. And this feels like there's actually a choice in a lot, you know, in a lot of the skills. And there's just a lot more to do. And I love customization. I like the rune attribute system. It really makes you want to choose which runes you're going to put in here. Like this one's really cool because it's like good stuff and bad stuff happening. You like take more damage, deal more damage type of shit. You know, support, control, like all these are really cool. This is just basically your defensive tree, your supporty tree. Like they're all really cool, and I actually love that this one's like a lot of cooldown base and stuff like that. I enjoy it. I love customization, and this game gives you so much of it. So when it comes to gearing, It's RNG based. It's kind of close to Black Desert / Arc Age. You do have to upgrade it. It can fail. It can downgrade. There's stuff to help you with not downgrading and stuff like that. But I'm never a fan of that type of system. It's really a feels bad instead of a feels good mechanic. It's really more of a feels bad mechanic, and I just don't like that in my game. But I played BDO for a while, so it's not like, you know, if the game's good enough, you know, I won't play it. You know, if it is good enough, I'll still play it even though I don't like the system. PvP is a lot of fun. It's very fast paced, even though it doesn't look like it. You might be like, oh, we got this like a little animation, like everybody just kind of stand there being like little turrets. Not in the least bit. It is literally just people like flying around and doing skills, and you know, and to a point, it's not as fast as Black Desert. And if you get CC'd once, you're not dead. You do have a trinket, which will be, it's bound to your spacebar. I think it's a 30-second cooldown or something like that. Whenever you get CC'd, you can hit spacebar. It'll just jump you out of the CCs. There's not just this. Get CC'd once and die. And even if you run out of it and you get CC'd once, unless you have multiple people on you or that person severely outgears you, most of the time you will be able to get out. So there is kind of that dynamic. There's not the, now at endgame, of course I'm not there, but from what I hear, it's the same way. It's not just a get one shot type of thing. It is a lot of going back and forth type of mechanic. Now there are some like cancer builds where you can basically like stun lock people out, and especially when you get to 2v2s, 3v3s, that dynamic changes just a little bit, because then super well coordinated groups can kind of lock down a person and kill them before they can really do anything, but you still have your trinket, so you can still get out of it. And there's a lot of skills that give you like immunities and stuff like that, not like Black Desert where you just keep in your immunities at all times, but you do have immunities in this game to kind of help you with that. But you also have your trinket, and you just don't get, you know, stun locked once or get stunned once and die. So love the skill system. I really enjoy the combat. I love the different playstyles of each class. Elementus I like the least, which I was surprised at, but I still liked it a lot. Like I would still play it. PvP I really enjoyed. The gear grind I'm not huge on, but it's sort of a Korean MMO. Now endgame it is a lot of just grinding mobs. So if you're into grinding mobs, that's fine. I did it while on BDO. I don't know. I mean, I would still do it. Like, I still enjoy it, but I much prefer just getting to a point, being pretty good, and then being able to do what you want. But some people, that's not enough, because if there's not enough stuff for you to do in the game just kind of teeters out for you. There's always got to have that mechanic in the game, and typically Korean MMOs are continue to grind mobs. And that's just kind of what this game is. So yeah, I've really enjoyed my time. It's been a ton of fun, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've played this for, I don't know how many hours I've played it. I played on EU for a little bit, and I'm here on NA. I made a bunch of different characters. I tried classes out, I deleted some, I played some more, and I've really had a genuinely fun time, especially in the PvP. I was PvPing on stream on, what was it, Friday, and I was just having so much fun. I got a couple kills. I mean, they outnumbered us by quite a bit, but even then, I was having a lot of fun. I was getting kills, and it's kind of I love the genuine type of play style. It's one thing that I wish really other games had was open world PvP, and especially if you have a reason to PvP, and it was a lot of fun. So my kind of closing thoughts are, would I buy, if I were you, buy Elyon right now? Let's say it's $60. Now, it is a lot cheaper in Korea. Let's get that straight. I do not think it will be $60 by any means in North America, but let's say it's $60, the base game. Yeah. I would say if you're okay with long grinds, if you're okay with a Korean type of MMO, you're not going to buy this game if you don't typically like Korean MMOs, like not just the look of it, but the play style. It's a very typical Korean MMO. We don't know if it's going to have pay to win. It could. I imagine it'll have some form of what people like to call pay for convenience, or pay to progress faster. But in games like this, a lot of times I still consider it slightly pay to win. If you are okay with BDO's version of pay to win, and if you are okay with grinding mobs a lot, this game is kind of a slam dunk, especially if you're a PvP player. I mean, there's a lot more PvP in this game than there is BDO. And from what I've been told, There's not quite as much grindy in this game as BDO, but it's still pretty grindy. You do level up, but in this game, levels don't matter quite as much as BDO. You'll just get like more attribute points and stuff like that, which is definitely helpful, but you know, you can definitely beat somebody that's higher level than you. I beat, as a level 31, I actually beat a level 36. So it's not impossible. Especially because your gear will cap out. And there's people that free to play that capped out in Korea. So it's not like BDO where it's gonna take you years to get your gear to, you know, in here like legendary. So you know, and people will say, well, Parfax, well, they could fail. Well, here's the problem. Yeah, they could fail, but if I spend $100 in a game and I fail for all of my $100, let's say $1,000, and I fail on all my $1,000, I was still gonna fail that. I was still gonna fail that if I did everything in game to do that. And I would still have to work my way through that. So all the in-game currency that I would have lost, or in-game time that I would have lost by trying to upgrade it and didn't spend cash up on it, I gained that now because I spent real life money on it. So you'll always be ahead if you pay money in games that actually allow you to do that. Now, if that's a complete downside for you and you don't want to do it, don't. I'm warning you now. Now, I say that, but we haven't seen the cash up yet, but I'm just going to warn you guys that there's going to be some form of it in here. It's cacao. It is, the game in Korea is like that. I know Korea has a different standard and we are different. If they could come out and there could not be any of it in there, and I will eat my words and I will be thankful, because I think a game like this could definitely succeed very well if they just don't put that kind of stuff in here. They won't get that super negative type of atmosphere, but it'll probably be in here. So take it with what you will. That's kind of my thoughts. If you like Korean games and you're okay with the possibility of a little bit of pay to win, I think the game has a lot to offer. It has a ton of content. It's got a lot of dungeons. It's got a lot of PvP. It's got some really cool classes. It's got one of the best skill systems I've ever played. I so much enjoy the skill system. You know, maybe when you get to end game, there's really not any choices, but they also balance it quite often. Everything changes from the attribute points, and there's just so many ways to tweak the game. There's going to be a lot of imbalance. But that also means there's going to be so much customization. So that's kind of my thoughts in there. If you everything that I said, you're like, well, the downsides really aren't that big of a downside for me, then I would 100% buy the game. Like, there's not much of an issue with it. A lot of people love the game. A lot of the streamers you'll see, they really enjoy the game as well. And I enjoyed my time playing with it. Like, I don't know if I've had this much fun leveling an MMO in a long time. Like, it was actually, like, honestly enjoyable. Maybe that's because I tried a bunch of different, you know, systems, but every time you level up and you get a new skill, which you get new skills very often, not only are you getting new skills, you're getting new skills with new abilities attached to them. So when you level up, you're not getting one skill, you're getting 3 skills and stuff like that, which makes the game just very fun to level up with. So I absolutely have rambled on for way too long. That's my thoughts. I'll be streaming on Twitch mainly Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That is probably going to change extremely shortly, but 8 p.m. to midnight, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Eastern time, twitch.tv/Parfaxgaming. You can see all that information down below in the comment sections below. If you got to this point, I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate a like. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. This video is, you know, been something I was looking forward to doing because I really enjoyed the game. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you didn't like the video and you think I'm a piece of crap, go ahead and hit that dislike button and tell me in the comment section down below. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.